Hey family, how you doing? Well, I'm good. I know it's been a long time, a little over 5 years to be somewhat exact. There's so much to say in so little time. I already know this video is going to be pretty long. I know you probably have a lot of questions. I will do my best to answer them. First of all, as you can see, I I have a new hairdo. Yes, I shaved my hair off. This happened last summer, a year ago. Um, it started probably at like when I was turning 40. I started cutting my hair. I was feeling like I needed something different. And then it just turned into this, which is nothing new. I've shaved my hair off before. But anywho, you're going to see me look down a lot because I have notes prepared. Um, I'm actually not even going to be showing my face for most of this video because I'm going to show the notes um, as I talk. Um, so for those of you who are not subscribers and you kind of just want to get to the meat of it, I put the timestamps in the description so you can skip around and listen to whatever you want to listen to, whatever interests you. If you're not interested into my rambling on, because I can ramble. So you can click those timestamps and go directly to the meat of the video. For my subscribers who are actually interested in where I've been, what I've been doing, I will go through that before I even go into the meat of the video, which I know is totally not even about hair, but it's something that God put on my heart to share with everyone. And if it's not for you, I understand. If you don't like it, then it is what it is. I'm only doing what I know I feel led to do. Um, Before I even get into explaining where I've been, I have a disclaimer, as always. So I wrote, to all the mockers and scoffers, this video is not for you. You have already determined your fate. This message is to my wise family in Christ because Proverbs 9:8 says, do not correct a scoffer or he will hate you, but correct a wise man and he will love you. So I'm just a servant. Take everything to God in prayer and seek confirmation so you know him and the truth for yourself rather than banking on my or other words alone, or mine or other words, whoever's, whatever. I don't know if I wrote that right. Just don't bank on my words or other people's words alone, basically. Take it to God. Ask him for revelation and confirmation for yourself, and he will show you if what I'm saying is the truth. This is what I've done when I need to know. And rather than combat me in the comments, just go to God in prayer, and he will tell you what is true and what is not. But anywho, so for the people who are wondering where I've been, let's see. Yes, okay, so I got my new hairstyle. I'm actually going to go through some pictures in a little bit and some videos to kind of like update you on the process of how my hair got to here. And yes, I lost weight. I don't know how many pounds now because I gained a little bit back, but I know overall from the point when I started to lose, I was like 207, and then I went down to like 175 or something like that. That was my skinniest, but I am not my skinniest right now. I'm like, I was, I don't even want to know what I am right now, but all I know is I can fit my clothes, and that's what matters. I can fit into my 12s, and I can fit into my 10s. 10s are a little tight, but it doesn't matter. I can still get in them. So, and before I lost my weight, I was like in 14s, tight 14s, because I refused to go any higher than 14, but whatever. It is what it is now. But so, okay, that's what I want to update you on was my weight loss. Oh yeah, so I'm not in Georgia anymore. I've moved back to Arizona. Um, I've been back for 5 years. I was in Georgia for like 15 years. That's where I raised my daughter. And then when she was turning 14, before she was starting high school, I felt like it was the best decision to move back here. I did ask her, if she wanted to or not. If she didn't want to, she could stay with her father, but she opted to come. But now, after she's graduated high school, she's back in Georgia with her dad. So, gosh, I don't even know how to explain all of this. 5 years worth of time and so little time without rambling. Well, I did. So, as you know, I had a business where I worked for myself doing hair in Georgia, and I sold hair products, which I made myself. And I did pretty well for myself. Uh, so it was strange when I when I got when the Lord told me that I was going to move back to Arizona and work for Great Clips again. And which is so strange because I'm sorry if I'm taking a long time to explain this, because a lot of this is very emotional to me, and I want to make sure that I get this out properly, um, without getting too emotional. Um, so bear with me, please. I'm sorry if I'm taking too long, but so I once God told me I was gonna move back to Arizona, I thought it was strange because I had my product line and it was selling pretty good. I was doing hair shows, and people were ordering it from all over the nation, and that's a good feeling when people like something that you put your blood, sweat, and tears into. And when I say blood, sweat, and tears, I literally mean that. There's many times where I cried, and I bled a little bit too because I cut myself in process, but I didn't get any blood in the product. And the sweat, hard work. Whenever you work for yourself, when you build something from the ground up, it is hard work. And it was getting tiring too because I was doing it by myself. And I wasn't sure where I wanted to take it, and I was starting to get tired. But it was still lucrative. I was able to take care of me and my daughter by myself. And so once I got the call, to move, I asked God for confirmation because I didn't want to do anything like that without knowing for sure that was Him I heard in my heart. And He sure enough confirmed it that I was supposed to move back to back to Arizona and work for Great Clips. And of course you don't know, I used to work for Great Clips for 3 years before I actually started working for myself. Um, so it kind of felt like God was telling me to go backwards. I'm just like, why would you want me to work for a company again when I'm working for myself now? When you wanted me to work for myself, I just had a lot of questions. But, anyways, things transpired in my life. I was engaged at the time when all this happened. I was thinking that he was going to come with me, when I got that message, and everything changed. I don't want to go like so much into it, because it's a lot. I gave him his ring back. I just didn't feel like it was he was for me. I didn't feel like it was the right decision, and if you looked at one of my videos before, you'll see that I've been married 3 times before, and I've had a lot of fear to do it again. Um, I've messed up so bad, before, being young and stupid in my 20s. I was married 3 times in my 20s. Now I'm 41 and I haven't been married since I was 30. But I have been engaged a couple times since then, and I've had serious boyfriends. This is hard to talk about because it's a little embarrassing, but I have to be real and honest because I want people to know the truth so that they can feel like they're not the only crazy ones out there that have done some crazy stuff. And I have done some crazy stuff. So, but anyways, what did I say all that to say? Let me get back to my notes so I can stay on task. Anyways, so gave him his ring back, moved back to Arizona. The past 5 years I've been back in Arizona have been some of the hardest times in my life. That's what, when I got married and divorced in my 20s, those were hard times too. But I feel like 2018 or so, I think that was the year, or it could be a little bit before, was probably the hardest. And I'm going to summarize it. I had a boyfriend for a year and a half who died. And we did want to marry each other, but he had some things going on with himself that I decided to back off to let him take care of. And rather him take care of it, he died. That was very difficult for me because I had some guilt from that. But I don't want to go into all of that right now. But we did talk about getting back together, before all of it, he died and everything, but he was still having some problems, and so I didn't want to do that. But after he died, it actually was I guess what I needed to start looking within myself. Because some other hard things happened. Me and my daughter got hit by a drunk driver when she was on her 16th birthday. We already had her sweet 16 party, but me and her were on our way out to eat to have our own private dinner for her for her 16th birthday on the day of, and a drunk driver hit us. So the time frame. She's going to be 20 in this coming February, so how long ago that was. And that was very difficult. I was living with my sister at the time, and we ended up having a falling out, and then me and my daughter moved in with my mom, and that's when everything transpired, and he died. So when that happened, I also let go of my product line by this time, around this time. Um, I I was having a hard time because everybody wanted me to do my to keep doing it because they said they really like it. Especially my family wanted me to keep doing it. It was a hard decision, but I just wasn't feeling it inside. I don't know if it was right or wrong, but I, I just wasn't feeling like I wanted to do the product line anymore. Um, and then I still don't even know what's going to come of it. So, that time that I stayed with my mom for the year, that was a great time. Me and my mom haven't always been able to live together peacefully, but she was really there for me. Very, at a very hard time. Golly, I didn't even think I was gonna cry, and I'm so appreciative. That's not to take away from my sister too, because she was there for me and my daughter too. Before we even had a falling out, which we mended that. Now, when my ex died, my sister, in spite of what we were going through, she came and brought me a gift basket, even though we weren't even talking during that time. So she really, even though, when you have, when you fall out with your loved ones and stuff, and when they can put it aside and still come to your aid in your time of need, that's real love, and that's why it's not good to hold grudges and unforgiveness, because I don't want to get up and go get tissue. So sorry that I'm wiping my nose with my shirt. Yep, I did it. But anyways, so that's just part of the difficult things that I experienced. But anyways, after all of that, I was forced to look within myself and look at all the crap that was in my heart. It was so easy to blame so many people for everything that I was experiencing at the time. But I started going to Celebrate Recovery, which is a program for, it's a Christian program for drug addicts, people who abuse alcohol, anything. But it's not just for that. But I actually started going because that's what my ex died from, and I didn't even know he was using. But I actually wanted to go there because I wanted to. I didn't know this was going to be a testimony video. I actually was going to share my confessions later in this video. This is just an update of what this past 5 years have been. So this is not my confessions yet. So I'm basically just trying to get you up to speed for these past 5 years. I'm sorry that it's taken me so long. Ooh, 19 minutes. Whew, okay. But anyways, um, so after going through all of that, going to celebrate recovery at my church, which I only heard of after he was dead. I wish I knew about that. I wish we both knew about that. When he was alive, that would have been great. I don't know if it would have changed anything. I probably still would have had my own problems, you know, issues still even. But anyways, I only started going because I wanted to be a volunteer for other people who may be suffering the way that my boyfriend was suffering. But lo and behold, I found out I was suffering too. Um, and I started participating, and it wasn't even about volunteering to me anymore. I participated in the meetings. I got chips, and I decided to confront my past pains, and it was very difficult, but it was necessary. Um, I ended up during this time period meeting someone there who I became good friends with, and we decided to get an apartment together so she could save money and I could move back out of my mom's house. So I stayed with my mom for a year, and then I ended up getting an apartment with my friend from Celebrate Recovery. It only lasted 6 months. She ended up having to relocate for a job back home where she's from in Iowa, which left me freaked out to find a place to live. And during this time, it was very, very stressful. I ended up having a panic attack, which I used to have panic attacks in the past. And I hadn't had them anymore. But I ended up having a panic attack during this because I didn't know what I was going to do. I knew I couldn't afford the rent on my own. I was working at Great Clips again. And I bought a Jeep. After I paid off my car with the insurance money that I got, which was not a lot because the drunk driver did not have a lot of money. My insurance had to cover it. And what was left over, I paid off my car. So while I was living with my roommate, I ended up buying another vehicle because we started doing outside activities, and I was like, I want a Jeep so we could ride off-road because my little Camaro is not made for off-roading. And that thing it just was getting tore up living out with my mom who lives out in the country and driving it on those dirt roads. And then we would go kayaking and stuff. And it was just like, it doesn't have suspension for that. So I was like, I want a Jeep. And I wasn't looking forward. I did want to buy a home, but I put that on hold since I moved in with my friend, and I still had a little savings because I had started saving when I was with my mom so I could buy a home. But all that changed, So when she told me that she was going back to Iowa, I was like, oh shoot, okay, I still got a little bit of savings. I could do one of those programs and and get a home because I didn't want to rent because rent is so high in Phoenix, Arizona. It's getting ridiculous out here. So, and I know what was going to happen. Like when you pay your rent out here, and it's time to renew your lease, your rent can jump up from $100 to $300 out here. And I know that's crazy because when I was in Georgia, that never happened. I had the same apartment for 5 years, and my rent stayed the same. And if rent goes up out there in Georgia, oh gosh, when I talk about Georgia, I hear a southern accent come out, and that is crazy. I lived out there for 15 years. That my family made fun of me so bad because they said I sounded so country when after living out there for so long. But anyways, I just felt like I sounded country just for a second. But anywho, back to what I was saying. Um, what was I saying? Dang it. Okay, so I was saving. Oh, rent. Rent was not an option because I'd have to go get some little rickety old place for $1,000 a month, out here. And I was like, no, that's not going to work. But if I bought, I could get a mortgage for 1,000, or, that was in a decent area. So the buying process was not easy. And I think anybody who ever has bought a home can attest to this. Um, that is some different kind of stress. And I was on a time crunch. I had a month and a half to find a place because after she left, she paid her part up. Um, she paid her part of the rent up uh, until the end of January. I don't know. I don't remember. But anyways, all I know is I had a month and a half to get into a new place. Um, and her job paid for us breaking our lease. So everything was fine on that end. But finding a place in that amount of time of buying, because but the buying process takes a month in itself. So really, I only had like half a month to find a place and then start the buying process. And during this time, everything was being snatched up off the market just like that. It's a seller's market, and it still is out here. Everybody's just moving here. So as soon as something would go on the market, it would get snatched up just like that. And it was like three places that happened to me. And I was like in love with it when I saw it, online. I was just like, "Oh, that's my place." Ah. And then when my realtor was set up to go see it, he said it was already in what do you call it? I don't know what it's called. I forgot what it's called. Oh, already in contract. That happened to me on a place where I really wanted. And I remember it broke my heart. I was crying so hard in church with my daughter. She didn't understand how painful it was when you find a place that you really want and then it gets taken away. And I lost all hope. It happened a few times. I lost hope because I was running out of time, and I asked, and I was like, God, forget it. I'll just find some little rickety dink place in the hood where I can rent that I had given up. And I remember he woke me up at 3 in the morning one morning. He told me to look again. And I didn't want to because I had given up already. And he told me, look again. And I looked online and I saw this place that I'm in right now. And he also told me to create a an invite for housewarming. I'm like, what the? I didn't even put a bid in yet. You want me to make a housewarming invite? God does stuff like that sometimes. He wants you to have faith. And I sat there at 3 something in the morning making a housewarming invite for a place that I didn't even put a bid in on. And the next day I called my realtor and I was like, put a bid on this place. And he was like, you didn't even get to go see it. And I was like, doesn't matter. Just put a bid on it so I can already get my foot in the door before I see it. I can see it while I'm in whatever it's called when you put your. I forgot all the terminology, you guys. Forgive me. It's been a year and a half I've been in this place. Wait, almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years in January. So I forgot the terminology, so forgive me. But anyways, he put the bid in immediately in the morning, and I had to put a bid higher than what they asked because that's what you had to do during this time to get your concessions and for your bid to be accepted because there was always multiple bids on every place. My bid was picked, and before it was picked, I remember doing my morning walk because I would do about 4 miles walking every morning. That was my time of exercise and peace before I start my day. And I remember saying on my walk, it wasn't like I was just like praying. I just said, I was like, I ain't getting excited about this house. I said it just like that because it's probably going to get snatched up again. And I heard immediately after I said that in my heart, I heard it. God said, get excited because it's yours. And I was like, hmm? Whenever I hear God say stuff, it doesn't happen all the time. And I'd be like, hmm? Because sometimes it's unbelievable to me. And it was just weird because I wasn't even saying it to him. I was just talking junk. I was like, I ain't finna get excited. And he said that. So God is funny sometimes. But, and he was right. It was mine. But it doesn't mean the process was easy. It still was a process. The buying process was stressful. I was crying all the time. It was always a hurdle to jump over in the buying process. One hurdle after another. But I finally got my little tiny townhome. That's what it is, a little tiny townhome. And I'm going to show y'all a picture of it. I'm not going to walk around and show y'all because it has things out of place right now, and I don't like that. So I'm not going to show y'all a live view, but I'll show you a picture of what it looked like online before I bought it. All right. I guess that's the summary of where I'm at right now. So let me show you the pictures.